Hi everyone, I'm Maren from Wine Paths, and I'm here today at Chateau Malartic-Lagravie, which is in the Pisac appellation on the left bank of Bordeaux. And this is our first stop on our virtual road trip of the Bordeaux vineyards. And today I'm joined by Séverine Bonnet, owner
Hello,
of
everybody.
Chateau Malartic. So I'll hand it over to you, Séverine, to tell us a little bit more and take us on this wonderful tour.
Thank you very much, Marianne. I'm very glad to welcome you for the first live virtual tour. And so welcome to all the followers and the next that will come during this live, I hope so. So I'm Séverine, part of the Bonnet family. We are owner of Chateau Malartic-Lagravie since more than, or it will be almost 5 years old now. And I will embark you for a long journey around the vineyard of Malartic. You will see the chateau, you will see the vineyard, the chai, the cellar, and then I think very interesting tasting, comprehensive tasting between Malartic and the winery we own also in Argentina that is called Diamantes. Took over from the Champagne Laurent Perrier in 97. So let's go outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go.
We go outside. You follow us?
We're taking you
With
to the
us.
vineyards.
So you will see that May, it's a very interesting period because it's a flowering time. So a few steps. Why a few steps? Because you will see that we are located in a very nice outcrop of Grave that is very famous in the region. So you see the vineyard now. I hope the connection is okay. Okay. You could see this outcrop of Grave that is very good for the terroir, very good for the vines because it's drainful. And you could see all these little stones that compose our terroir. It's the gravel, it's the name of the Grave, it's the name of the estate, and it's the name of the classification I told you about. We are classified both in white and in red. So very interesting, this area of Pisac-Léognan produce very fine wines in red and in white too. We'll talk about the whites and we'll test the reds. So here, nowadays, so middle of May, it's the beginning, the early stage of the flowering. I went to cut a bunch of flower or little buds. It's the flower bud separate stage. I went on internet to see exactly in English the name. So very interesting for you to see that because the flowering is huge. It's very important for us because the flower gives the fruit and so the fruit is the wine. So for us it's really at the moment where we have all the production that is going on, and so it's very important to have nice weather, some wind, some fresh air, and I will show you this little flower. I will go to catch the. So look at that. it's a bunch. So you could see these little buds and this little white flower. It's the early stage, the early beginning. It's very interesting. It's very, comment on dit, évanescent. You know, it's very short period of flowering, and it's only the beginning. I will probably will be on entire flowering in the 2 weeks that come.
Okay, no, 2 weeks time.
So 2 weeks time. Exactly. So very interesting.
Yeah,
It's
I've
for
never
you.
seen this.
And it smells very well, and it's very interesting. So here we are working alongside the technical facilities that you will visit further, and you have an overview on the terroir. That is really a very old plot of Cabernet Sauvignon, very interesting. If you can see those vines, the average age it's around 50, 60 years old, so very old Cabernet Sauvignon. And in terms of working in the vineyard, we are not organic, but part of.
Yeah.
We are sustainable farming and high environmental value certificate since 3 years, and we are working every day in terms of how to protect the environment, how to protect also the people that are around us. Around us, it's very important. So we plow the soil with horses. We have 2 horses here, permanent, and truck. And we really pay maximum attention of the care we have on the vineyard. It's really important for us.
How long have you been doing that for, Severine?
We start to stop chemical weeding when we arrived, so more than 25 years ago.
Okay.
And we plug the soil since 2003, when I arrived with my husband Jean-Jacques, that is owner with his sister Véronique of the estate now.
Yeah.
It's a family business.
Yes.
But you know, it's really a day-to-day. What next care we could do at the vineyard to protect the environment? It's really like research and development, but evolving and at the vineyard to protect new measure, how to do that, how to deal with that, etc. It's very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Important.
Yeah, and a lot of money to invest in that, but we think that it's the future of producing wines. So here you have an overview of the chateau over there. Here is the old cellar, because when we arrived, we built from scratch the technical facilities you will see after. And so this one that we call the Vieux Shell, like old cellar, has been welcomed the wine for aging and vinification since 98. Sorry, 98. So 1 year after we arrived, we built from scratch the new technical facilities, and we began to make the vinification into the new cellar with the gravity system. That is also very convenient because it's very gentle with the wine and with the vines. And it's built, yeah.
You do host events as well.
Exactly.
Hosting events.
Exactly. We do a lot of hospitality tours and so on. So today it's a little bit particular, so I'm very, very glad to welcome you as, virtual. But I hope that you will come all to see really the vineyard and this place, because we are organizing a lot of tours, visits, tastings, lunch and dinners at the chateau also, because we have a chef, resident chef, and I love to work on new pairings, then wine pairings and so on. So you can have a look at the chateau if you want. It's a very old chateau. We renewed part of it. When we took over, we had only the left part of the chateau. We expand the size of the chateau to be able to receive people and to welcome and to do some lunch and dinners and tastings and so on.
Some of the family also actually live in here, so
Yeah,
it's not just...
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. My friends-in-law, when they are in Bordeaux, they live there. And we have another dining room when we receive people or clients and so on, or journalists, So it's very convenient. It's a very nice place. Very peaceful, very nice. So now maybe we could go into the cellars.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just let everyone have another look. Beautiful building.
Oh, let's go. look at that. Very interesting. Look at that. So it will be in flower probably in 1 week because we will have a very nice weather for the forecast are very nice for the 10 days. And so I hope nice vintage to come. So you could see that the ground is really living, it's very alive, that is very important for us. All the surrounding of the vineyard, you know, nature, birds, fauna, it's very important for us because it means that the vines are really going naturally. I think it's the most important for us to produce the grapes with the more naturally way to do.
Naturally, yeah.
So we will have a look. I hope the connection will follow us. Have a look to the bathroom. So here, this place is the harvest area. That is not really in configuration because it's not harvest time, but it's the harvest area. And you will understand what is the gravity system. A little bit of echo here, but you could see the vats, quite small vats, because each plot is going into a vat. It's a very plot by plot management system, and in a way to when we harvest a plot of Merlot, of Cabernet, or everything, we are raising them separately. And so the vinification is here, and you have gravity because we sort the grapes in the harvest area, so it's the level where we are, and then it's going by gravity into this system, into the top of the vats, to going down and beginning the vinification and the fermentation.
And does this little piece right here in the middle, does that have a special purpose?
Yeah, it is the tasting room where we are going to do the tasting with you. Okay, we go there?
Okay.
Okay. With
outside,
yeah, back outside. I think it's better. So we will go for the tasting in the middle of the boat. So this tasting room is very important for us because it's the place where we are doing all the technical tastings for vinification. When we are working on our blends, we are doing the blend session in this room, and it's the place also where we are welcoming all our guests for tours, visits, journalists. That room. So we are just in the other
The other side of the vat room, yes.
Of the vat room, and in the other side we see the cellar where we have another cellar for the whites, but where the reds are rending chilled for 18 months more or less.
I love
wine. Are you okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that it's a very interesting tasting that I propose to use, this discovering grape varieties. So tasting Bordeaux wines and Argentine wines. So we produce, as I said, you have here all the lines. We produce 2 estates in Bordeaux, so Malartic-Lagravie, where we are, and Gazin-Concours, that is another estate very close from here, where our technical team is also working. You know, it's the same philosophy, and so on.
It's really just up the road, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It is 5 minutes driving from here. And it's the 2 wines we are tasting, we'll test today. And it is the Argentine line. So in Argentine we produce Diamandis. That is the winery we took over the land in 2005. The winery, we built the winery, and we continue to plant. So mainly reds, but we also have some whites. Over there, we have a Chardonnay and we have a Viognier and a Rosé also, very, very interesting. So we decided to go there because it is interesting to produce. It's a very sunny weather, very hot in summer, but as we are in altitude, because of the footing of the Andes, the weather, the nights are fresher, and so we are close to what we have as a weather condition in Bordeaux during summer, hot days and cold nights because of the Atlantic Ocean, you know, exactly, so fresh temperature during the nights, and in Argentina, in those mountains, is because we are in altitude. So he allows us to produce some very fine wines with good balance, very nice aromas and very good balance and good freshness. Of course, it's very Argentine style, but here we have 2 blends. We have classical style, you know, and here it's also a blend because as Bordeaux people, when we produce wine, we like to do some blends, you know, and we have a certain know-how about that, and it's 75% Malbec and the rest of Cabernet Sauvignon, so very interesting. So
And
you want to
how
taste?
exactly was it that you settled in Argentina?
So we arrived there in 2005.
Okay, so
We built the winery. The first harvest into our winery was, and vinification was 2007, and it is a 14. I have 2 14s, so very interesting also to compare 2 vintage. One from North Hemisphere and the other from the south. So currently in Argentina, we had already our 2020 harvests just before the quarantine, the lockdown. So yeah, we managed to go to our, yeah, exactly. And also we have finished the vinification. It's the beginning of the raising of the new vintage.
okay. Now is probably a good time if you are joining us at the tasting to make sure you have your bottles ready and
Exactly.
open before
Exactly.
we
You're tasting.
tell us a little bit more.
This is for you. So I will pour the Malartic-Lagravie Red 2014. So we'll taste the wine. I hope you managed to find. So I suppose we have a lot of people from around the world listening
Classé? Do you actually ship worldwide from here, or is it more
As-
to go to the local merchants?
The local merchant is easiest because we are selling the wine as Bordeaux, Grand Cru. We are working with the wine merchant of Bordeaux, and so they import our wines in US very well. We are very well distributed. And for Diamantes, we are working ourselves to selling it.
Yes.
Also with importer and distributors as well, but also in Europe, in UK, and in Asia. So cheers.
Cheers.
The good tasting. So the 14 is a very classical vintage, very interesting. The weather has been almost perfect. Quite sunny July and August with some freshness. So when I say classical, it means really Bordeaux, good balance, freshness on the nose, ripe fruit. I don't know if you see the color, but it's quite dark. We have a little bit more Cabernet Sauvignon in the blend than Merlot, but also always some Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot that brings very interesting things, like, it's a little bit that salt and pepper and this kind of flavors that brings all together very, very interesting results. So we have very good flavors on the nose.
Yeah.
It's still young wine, but I think that if you open it like 1 hour, before 1 hour or 2, very interesting. Or you can decant it.
Yes, I can answer that question.
Exactly, could be very interesting for your wine like that. Leon is not so young, but he has some years to keep it in your cellar if you want. And in the palate you have very nice fruits like dark cherry and red fruits, but also you feel little minerality and the spicy note that we have in general in Malartic, maybe more in the old vintage, but you feel like spiciness that are also very interesting. And what I like is very long and very good balance. This freshness. If you have a glass, but you probably want another, maybe a third.
And so what type of food do you recommend? What goes well with this particular wine?
Probably meat, but also it could be, very good pasta and veggie foods also, because nowadays a lot of people ask us, not only meat and so on. And I think that this kind of wine is good balance like that could be very well with a lot of things.
It's quite
But
versatile.
I will have for tonight maybe I don't know, maybe a good barbecue and with vegetables and could be great.
Yeah, this is perfect for this time of year.
Exactly.
Someone coming on. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And so is it opening in the glass, and so it's giving some more and more. So I love this kind of very elegance on the palate. For me, it's what we are looking for, and it was also one of the reasons we went in Argentina, is looking for freshness and looking for balance. That is really important for us. But balance, okay, but respecting the style of the wine. It's where Malartic-Lagravie is really come from the terroir we have, and Diamantes is really typical from Malbec style, but with the little twist of of the blends and maybe the vinification we have over there. Maybe we could switch and taste this one too. So it's the Diamantes Grand Reserva 2014. So Malbec. Yeah, of course. So I'll show you two wines. So it's a Grand Reserva, that means that is our first, our premium wine.
Yes.
Okay, because we have all the line with,
Yes,
white, exactly, and we also have single varietal line as 100% Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and Viognier also.
Okay.
And the third that is very interesting to pair with food, with very good barbecues, you know, the typical Argentine barbecues, very interesting. Asado, exactly. But I mean, it could be also relaxed with a pizza or, you know.
It's obviously something they have in common. Their wines are quite versatile and adapt to different
Exactly. It's one of the particularities of the Pessac-Léognan wines that the balance is great and it's very easy pairing wines, and it's the same for the Diamantes. So here we have all the sun of Argentina, you know, but very, very, very well refined. Also the Cabernet Sauvignon, 25% that we have in this blend is bringing some very, very nice thing to the wine. It's bringing the structure to the Malbec that is more the fruits, the roundness, you know, of the wine.
And do you have the same practices at Diamantes as you carry here at Malartic?
Exactly. We harvest all by hands.
Yes.
Here in Bordeaux, as in Argentina, all by hands. We also have, you know, a very environmental practices that are very important for us. The winery that has built from scratch by us is also made with the gravity system. We send the vats, the stainless steel vats, to Argentina from France, and also is raised into oak, and it's the French oak that we send also to Argentina. So it's great investment for us, and we are traveling quite often to Argentina. My husband that's taking care about the winery and the wine process is traveling 4 times per year in Argentina. So he was just before the lockdown in Argentina to follow the end of the harvest. And normally we're used to go in April, so of course this year we only managed by Skype and so on, you know, virtual also, exactly.
It's interesting to learn, you learn and bring different influences from each continent.
Exactly.
Over there, what happens here?
We learn in Argentina about the irrigation, you know, the drop by drop irrigation, because over there you have to. In Bordeaux, we are not allowed, so it's another, type of process exactly. So we learn from our Argentine team over there a lot, and we bring them also all the know-how we have in Bordeaux. It's always very interesting, exactly, and open-minded. Also in terms of, selling the wines, even if it's different, but it's also very interesting to see the market for Argentine wines are not the same as Bordeaux, but you meet some people and you make some very interesting, meetings and so on. So it's always very, very rich for us. Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah.
It's quite different. It's really different. But the link between the two, well, it's the family. That is quite important. And it's a picture. Oh, look at that. It's very classical, French style of decoration, but it is the Bonny family, and I think the link between those two wines, it is important to talk about human people. In particular today, when we are all, in a very special situation since 2 months, and fighting with something that is completely new. I think that the link between people and virtual things is great, because in the end we keep the link, and we are here today and we are speaking with you all, and that's great. So the link between these two wines is the Bonny family, and I think it's also important to see that it's really a great investment from us into all the winery, and I think the philosophy of production, respecting each terroir, each place with our team, is also because the family is involved and giving the taste they want for their wines. That is the white or the red. I think it's also important. A great wine is the combination of the terroir, the place where you are, and also the people that are working into this terroir to produce this wine. I think it's a combination of all.
I think, Sabrina, we have more time than we obviously today it's planned we're just going to do a tasting of the reds, but maybe we could do a tasting of one of the others, of the whites, you know, at the time.
Yeah.
I know you might not have the wines there with you, but it will just give you a bit more of an introduction to some of the other wines that I don't hear.
I will propose you, because it's in general in this tasting, we have 4 wines. The idea is also to start with the reds and to finish with the whites, because we are testing the whites, and you know, when you have food, it's great. In general, you start when you have a dinner or a meal, you start with the white, and after you have your red with your meat or something. When you taste the wines, it's better to start with the reds and to finish with the whites wine, because of the acidity of the white, you know, this freshness and the acidity in the tannins is not very good. So we prefer to finish with the whites. Okay. It's a professional way to do it.
Yeah.
And so I will test maybe this Viognier.
Okay.
I love it. So Chateau Gazan-Concours, the other estate we bought 2006. It's really close from Malartic-Lagravie, the same kind of terroir. It's a Pessac-Léognan. It's very nice terroir of gravel and clay. And when we took over, it was only planted with red, but we made some analysis of the terroir, and we had 1 plot left after, you know, renewing a little bit all the terroir, all the vineyards. So we decided to plant a plot of Sauvignon. So it's 100% Sauvignon. In Malartic we also have some Semillon.
Okay.
But here it was interesting and very good reaction of the terroir to only have, smell good, only have Sauvignon. So the idea also of this tasting is to talk about the blend, as we have with the reds, and now we talk about the white with 2 single varietals. Okay? So it's also interesting to have single varietals and to recognize them. So Bordeaux is really about Sauvignon, talking about the white. And I will open this Viognier. That is a very special wine for me, because when we were planted the vines in Argentina, of course we planted mainly reds with Malbec, and then some Cabernet and some Merlot that are reacting very well over there. We planted some Chardonnay because, you know, the equation with the terroir was very interesting.
Okay.
And we had some plots, and we loved the Viognier from Condrieu, you know, in the Rhône Valley in France. Very, very nice wines. So we decided to plant over there. We have only, you know, 3 or 4 hectares, so it's very small production. But it's a very nice wine. You could have it in aperitif. It's very, you know, it's very flowering into the nose, very interesting. And so it's also great to have some rare wines or not very usual wines, you know, to taste. And it's very good. So I think we have a new glass for you.
Thank you.
I think we'll start with this one. So the Gazan-Concours.
So as you said, this is normally just for anyone who doesn't know. Today, celebrating this tasting is one that we can do here. Directly at the chateau, one that can be the wine Wells proposes along with you. So it's kind of like a virtual recreation of what really happened. So we'll just focus on the reds, but think about time, and we can probably go to
That's right. Look, we have a little, you know, little brochure for the, you know, discovering varieties, and so it's you are of all the blends and so on of the explanation. So when you will come to see me here, I think soon we will taste these 4 wines, you know, with some nuts and some cheese and so on. Exactly. So this is Gazan-Concours 17. It's 100% Sauvignon. 17 has been quite fresh vintage in Bordeaux, so it's very, very nice for the wines. It's been more complicated for the rest. We had some frosts.
Okay.
So it's a nice vintage, but small production. And this white is very bright, very fresh. Yeah. It's really Sauvignon, but we are looking here for not regular Sauvignon. the terroir, as I said, for the red. The idea is not to go for a very, very easygoing Sauvignon. This one is very long, it's very fresh, it's very tight, and it's also very round on the palate, and it expresses really the terroir we have in Gazin Rocancourt. Once again, this Grave, this Gravel, this Gravel, So we have some peach, some pear also on the nose, it's very interesting, and some little white flowers, it's very elegant. So talking maybe about the price of those wines, it's interesting to have an idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of Malartic-Lagravie 14 is around 50 to 60 euros or dollar, just more or less the same in US. This one is more around 30. Okay. And this one is around 25, something like that, and this one is less than 20.
Okay, so we're at different prices.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
They are very good value. Now, it's a little joke, but of course, we try to have some good value wines. That a price that reflects, of course, the quality, but keeping good value wines. It's important. Do you want maybe to taste the Vionnet?
Yes, absolutely.
Just let's see it some more.
I think it's a really wonderful opportunity. Normally we're in a vineyard in
Here for that, but to be able to propose also, a switch between two very different countries with the same philosophy of production, but very different wines, very different kind of varieties. We don't have Viognier in Bordeaux, or a few, but it's like nothing. And so very interesting also to understand what is a single grape wine, what is a blend, and to be able to compare also, because it's very interesting to see, okay, Argentine style, but made by the same important, the terroir is very important, but I think that the people that who are doing the wine are making the wine is also very, very important, of course. Because you give a style to the place, to the wine,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
it's an influence.
Yeah, and I think Bordeaux is one of these so famous, and everybody knows Bordeaux wine. People want to taste Bordeaux wine. It's one of those dream trips to come to Bordeaux, to the vineyards. But there is so many other countries out there as well with fantastic wine, and Argentina being one of them. So it's great to have a little sample of it here, and maybe give that desire to discover somewhere else.
Exactly. And even French people, are interested with wine from abroad. Because in France, we have Bordeaux, we have Burgundy, we have Alsace, we have Rhône Valley, and south of France, a lot of wines, of course. So people are used to drink wine from France, that is quite normal. But more and more they are more curious about also what we have in Spain and Italy and in Argentina. There is a lot of French people in Argentina producing some wine. That is very interesting. And I think that it's great also to open your mind to other kind of wine and to taste. And maybe you will come back to Bordeaux and maybe understand some more things after tasting some others.
Yeah.
Maybe. So Viognier is a very aromatic wine. very nice flower on the nose. Love that. It's very aromatic. It's interesting to pair because the white is usually with fish, seafoods, oysters that we have, you know, near Bordeaux, in the Bassin d'Arcachon. And the vionnet is also interesting, for example, to pair with poultry, you know, like the chicken with sauce or mushrooms, and you know. So aromatic. So different.
Yes.
It's very round on the palate, it's very fruity, very elegant too. It's really, you can't compare both. But it's very different kind of style to pair with food, of course. Yes. In Bordeaux, we also love to, maybe not a young wine like this one, but maybe a Malartic, 2010 or 15, or you know, that have some years, to pair with the cheese at the end of the meal. It's very interesting. We love to do that. In general, people are used to have some reds, but really try with a white, gold white that is very interesting, the old Comté or something like that.
Yeah, there's more and more people saying, you know, breaking away from this tradition, you should have bread, this or that, and, you know, trying different ones, which I find super.
And you know, you have your bottle of Malartic, or you have your Vionnet, and maybe you could taste and okay, this is great. Well, it's great pairing, and you don't have to be, you know, too.
Find your own
idea. Exactly. I think it's more freedom about that also. I think it's very interesting. I think if it's not perfect, okay, but the wine is great and you have a good moment. I think it's more important.
Okay, well, let's come back to the rosés.
Yeah.
Here, the Perlita. So obviously, you just do a rosé in
Argentina.
And I know rosés have become particularly popular at this time of the year with the weather warming up. So what was so different about over there that or what made the choice to bring a rosé into the Argentinian range?
The idea is it was to produce a rosé from Malbec, mainly from a plot of Malbec, a very good one. The idea was it was quite new in the Argentine market, because you know in Argentina we have also an intern market that is quite interesting, and because people love wine since a very long time. And so we decided to make some bleed, you know, from a way of unification. So we had some Malbec, so we decided to make a rosé, and it was a great success. So we have this rosé that is called Perlita, so it's the same range as we said. We have
yes, and the white here.
The white and the red that is going very well.
Okay.
And so this rosé is great. You could find it also in France, a few, but mainly we export it in US and Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's based on Malbec, but it's very nice, very fresh, great aromas and flavors. So and very good prices, like $10.
Yeah, very affordable. Absolutely. So I'll have to try that when I so obviously this has been great, Sarah, to find out a bunch more. So this is just one of the many different tours that are provided at Malartic.
Yeah.
So can you just give us a little overview of some of the other types of experiences you have here as well, for anyone who might be interested in coming when the time allows us to travel again?
Yeah, to travel again, yeah. Of course, we are working on new kind of visits, you know, visiting the vineyards, make some picnics outside, and you have to have some food and tastings outside. But we make some food, cheese and wine pairings. We made we have some lunch and dinners. You could taste the white, you could taste the red. So we have plenty of kind of visits. But you have to come and see me, and I will explain all the range and you will understand all the vineyard Malartic world, as we call all the free estates.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Well, obviously there's nothing better than actually coming and experiencing the chateau for yourself and being here and having all explained. But I hope that you've enjoyed today this short visit that we've had with Severin to give you a little bit more information and enjoy the tasting and find out a bit more. As you know, probably know, this is something we started around little Bordeaux road trip through the vineyards. So next week we're actually going to be in Chateau Kirwan, which is in the Margaux appellation in the Medoc. So different types of wines over there. So
very nice estates.
Yeah, very nice. We hope you can join us for us. It's going to be on Tuesday next week, so not that far away, at the same time. And we look forward to